Parshas KiSeitzei. The Mesilas Yesharim in Perek Aleph tells us what life is all about. He says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu placed us all in a place, in a world, Sherabim boi hamachikim oisai mimenu yizborach, that so many things that are making us distance ourselves from Hashem, which these are the taivas hachumriyos, the materialistic temptations, that if a person follows them, he goes away from what HaKadosh Baruch Hu really wants. The Mesilas Yesharim continues, he's really placed within a raging war. On one hand, should he do what Hashem wants? On the other hand, there's so many temptations that are distracting him and not letting him do what Hashem wants. He continues that poverty, on one hand, could be an isayon, a test. Person doesn't have what to eat, and should he? It's a test. Where's he going to get money from unless he does something wrong? It's all nisyanos. The whole world is full of tests. Wealth is another nisayon, is another test that the Mesilas Yesharim says. Somebody's wealthy. He doesn't need HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He can do whatever he wants. He can buy whatever he wants. Will he give tzedakah? Will he not give tzedakah? Etc., etc. Hashalva mitzad echad, rest, everything going well. It could be a temptation that distracts him. Yisurim mitzad echad, somebody's afflicted with all kind of tzaras. So he is within a raging war here. Ve'im yiyeh ben chayil, if a person will be a soldier and win v'yenatzeach hamilchama, hu yiyeh ha'adam hasholem, he'll be the complete person that will be zoicha to cling to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sometimes a person is in such tsar and such tsaras that he wonders, that anybody could wonder, is it possible for that person so full of tsaras, so full of nisyanos and tests, is he capable of overcoming this? Is he capable to rise above all this and be an Eved Hashem and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Sometimes we can have our doubts. We're stuck. What do? We can't do anything. So, in today's Parsha, in KiSeitzei, we could see there's hope for the human being to rise above all the distractions and be able to serve Hashem. It says in the pasuk, Lo yisira esher achicha ay eseyai nidochim. If you see the ox of your brother or his sheep going astray, you must not ignore him. V'yisalamta mehem, you must not ignore him. Hashev teshivem li'achicha. You see your brother's shepsela, his ox, it's going astray. Don't ignore them. Return them to your brother. The Evan Ezra, a Rishon, comes along and says 4 words. Afilu ato yotzei lemilchama. V'zeh derech drash. He says a drasha. He says, this is even if you're going to war. Can we fathom this? A person going to war, he's summoned to war. The sirens are calling, are asking him to get ready to go to war. Person goes to war. He doesn't know if he's going to come back. This may be the last time he sees his family. And he's trembling himself. He's trembling. He is really concentrating. He can have difficulty concentrating at that moment. And he sees a little shepsela, a little sheep walking by. Nebuch lost. And the Torah requires of him, to be able to have all these things in mind about war and about the fright and about not seeing his family again possibly and everything that goes along with being summoned to go to war. And he has to be able to, this little shepsela, he has to go take it and return it to its owner. We see from here an example of how a person can be distracted, very distracted. His life is at stake. He doesn't know how much longer he's going to live. And still, nevertheless, the Torah says, you are obligated, Hoshef Teshivim Liochicha, return this ox to your brother. Hashem's creation is so incredible that a person can concentrate, can be so distracted, so very distracted, and he can overcome it all and fulfill mitzvahs of Hashem. We shouldn't think that there's nothing that we can do. I want to bring another example possibly to show that man, the incredible creation of man, can overcome all the distractions. There's a famous story, that Rabbi Yisrael Salanta, the great Rabbi Yisrael Salanta, Zecher Tzedek Livracha, who founded the Musar movement, because of this following story that I'm going to tell. He was in a Beis Medrash before Kol Nidrei, and everybody is waiting for the rabbi to enter to say Kol Nidrei, the night of Yom Kippur, the holiest night of the year. And the rabbi comes in. Who knows how many hours he was immersed in Nigla and Nista and all the Kabbalah and everything before you come in for Yom Kippur davening. Rabbi Yisrael Salanta was young at that time, and as the rabbi was coming in, Rabbi Yisrael Salanta walked over to him and said, "Could you tell me what time it is, please?" And the rabbi looked at him angrily. He says, he embarrassed him. Now is the time to ask such a unimportant question. Now we're going to Kol Nidrei. And Rabbi Yisrael Salanta, the young Rabbi Yisrael Salanta, thought to himself, what right did that rabbi have to embarrass me? What right did he have to embarrass me? And he understood. And we see this truth, that this rabbi could have risen above everything and have answered politely Rabbi Yisrael Salanta and tell him what time it is. Even though the question may have been out of place, and even though it was not the right time to ask such a question. Nevertheless, Rabbi Yisrael Salanta felt a Jew has to be able to rise above, no matter how involved he is in something and no matter how immersed he is in something, he must be able to rise above that and always behave properly with Bein Odom L'Chaveirei, not to embarrass somebody, not to hurt somebody's feelings. And because of that, he walked away from there, Rabbi Yisrael Salantin, and he founded, because of this incident, he founded the entire Musa movement. How we have to behave, we have to know how to respect somebody else, no matter what, no matter how difficult. We must remember to respect somebody, to respect Bein Odom L'Chaveirei, not to embarrass somebody. Hashem should help us that we should be Zoicha to understand the incredible creation of the human being, that we can concentrate on certain things and be totally involved in them, and nevertheless fulfill mitzvahs Hashem. We could be going to war, and we have to worry about the little shepsela to return it to its owner. We have to realize that no matter how immersed a person is in Torah and in Yerushalayim and in Kabbalah and Nigla and Nista, and then at the most crucial time of the year, Erev Yom Kippur, you still have to be able to treat your friend, the other person, with respect. We should be zeicha to overcome all the distractions that we have, and be zeicha to fulfill the mitzvahs Hashem, which is the most important thing in the world. And in that schus will be zeicha to aksiva v'chsima tova lanu v'chol Yisrael. Amen.